I see a lot of people that have huge, big goals that they want to make. And you want to be one of those people, right? You have this big application idea, or, oh no, I want to become a basketball player, or something huge that's out of the ordinary. And while your friends are cheering you on these big and wonderful potential ventures, you might have a different reaction when it comes to your parents. Now, I can say this confidently without looking at statistics, but more than 95% of parents really want to see big success on the child. They have put in so much time and energy and effort into being the person you are today. So of course, they're going to be very careful on what kind of path you're going to be taking. They're always out there looking out for you, making sure that you don't take any paths that lead you to failure. Now, sometimes they might be a little bit overprotective in that end. Now, ideally, a parent should not force their children into taking a path that they do not want to go to. A parent's role is really more so a guider and a listener. They listen to what the child wants, what they need, and they try to see through their words, through their wisdom, how this child can get to their goals that they're looking for. Now, that's easier said than done, because when a child comes up to you and says, oh, all I want to do is found a company. I have 20K and I want to take out a loan, and yeah, I want to just bank it all in there. It's very difficult to be in the parent situation where obviously you don't want to say no to their big goal, their big ideas. You don't want to kill their dreams. But you also do not want to put them in a situation where they end up being in such horrible and complete disaster. If you're watching this far in the video, I am more so confident that you probably have parents that struggle to see some of the visions that you have. And honestly, man, I understand that so well. I love my parents so much. I really do love them, but sometimes they have a very difficult time in understanding the visions that I see. No, like, believe it or not, they're very skeptical on me making this YouTube channel even. Now you're thinking like, oh, why would they be worried about that? Their worries are more so making sure that I do not deviate too much from my main goal. My main goal right now is to become a wonderful software engineer. That's my safe path that I really do enjoy taking. Their issue is that this YouTube channel, for example, would actually be taking too much time off my hands, and eventually that will make me crumble on my main goal. But the thing is, it's actually very understandable. Now, I actually understand their thoughts on this, because in their minds, they really want to make sure that at least the main thing is being done correctly. Am I still keeping my main job? The one job that is actually giving me an income at the moment. The one job that can actually provide me with good experience, that can actually provide me with even better income in the future. They want to make sure that at least this is being fulfilled. That way, they have a peace of mind. They understand that, hey, you know what? I mean, it'll be all right. He's got a good job. He's racking a little bit of money there and there, and he's learning a lot, and potentially he can grow more from there. So anything that diverges from me becoming a software engineer, it starts slipping off the scale a little bit. The way they see it, the amount of risk continues to grow, but is it really worth it given the outcome? Of course, in my mind, I'm thinking this is enjoyable. I love making YouTube videos like this. I love to come out and actually speak about my mind a little bit, but also providing wisdom and value to others. I'm already seeing people like telling me how impactful some of my videos were, and I barely even started. And that motivates me to keep going, because I truly just want to bring more and more value. But my parents want security. They want to make sure that I am financially stable. That way I can also be mentally stable as well. So with all of that said, no matter how many times they will bash my side hustles, I will forever understand where they're coming from, what they actually are looking for at the end of the day. They want my happiness. They want to make sure that I am okay long term, no matter what. And honestly, I appreciate it. Even though technically it would be loads better if they were supportive about all of the goals and decisions I have, I still understand it regardless. And I still love them for that. Now, this is the situation that I am in. Now, the situation that you might be in might be maybe worse. You might be in the situation where it feels like your parents really does not accept like anything you do. And that's really terrible to be in this kind of situation. Believe me, like, I can sympathize with that. It sucks to see when parents want to force you into doing something that you really do not enjoy, because ultimately in life, it is important to do the things that you really love to do. Now, here is one of the biggest advice that I would like to share with you when you are in this sort of situation. The key to literally win this argument. And it's not through words. No. It's through meaningful actions. And what do I mean by that exactly? Take your parents like investors. They have already poured so much time, maybe 20 years of time, money, millions of dollars onto you, and they want to make sure that kind of investment is still rather worth it. Like any other investor, they want to see a return on investment. For them, your parents would just be your happiness. And so there's a lot of convincing you need to do, right? But it's not through words. Words are not that meaningful in the grand scheme of things. You can say so many things about, oh, my goal is it's gonna skyrocket in like a year from now. Trust me, dad, trust me, mom. Oh, it's gonna go really great. Oh, don't even worry about it. You can have that kind of argument back and forth talking about how great and successful you will be. But in the grand scheme of things, you're literally wasting your time. You're spending hours of your time convincing your parents where you should actually just be convincing yourself to go do the work that needs to get done. Because it seems like you've got a lot of hours to spend in order for you to get to where you want to be. And so actually working towards the business, towards the goal, towards the venture that you're looking for, that's actually what's going to solve your entire problem. Now, it might not seem too motivating sometimes to be surrounded with your family when they're not so encouraging with your venture. But just like any investor, you gotta convince them. You're not gonna come to an investor and just start talking about your amazing app idea. No. The investor will not even give you a single dime. You need to do a lot more convincing than just with words. Start actually developing a user base. Start small. Start getting some customers. And so whenever you start making a little bit of income, a little bit of profit, or whenever that business idea of yours actually goes somewhere, then you actually have something to talk about now. Whenever your parents start coming to you and start talking about the risk of your happiness or things not turning around, you start showing them numbers. You really show them how successful you are, not how successful you are going to be. You show them how successful you are right now and how hard you work towards that goal. If you're sitting your ass down on the couch all the time, playing video games or just watching TV or watching any kind of entertainment, social media, then of course they will be doubtful. They see you almost every single day at home. And in an investor's case, if they see no progress being made towards that goal, they'll be worrisome and they will not necessarily support you towards that goal. Because there's a huge difference between having parents that are unsupportive towards your goal while you're working really hard at what you're doing. Like seriously, you're working that ass hard on what you're doing versus just having an idea and talking about it to your parents and saying how amazing it will be if I make it happen. But I have actually started writing a little lines of code for this idea of mine. Like, look at my little app that I have. It's awesome, don't you think? Look. What? Do you have a user base? Do you have people that believe in the idea? Do you have people that are looking to put money into this? If you're the only one that believes in the idea, then you don't really have much convincing to do. Got a lot of work to do, buddy. And even throughout the midst of the hard work, even though your parents come at you and they are not showing that much support towards your goals, and honestly, this is where you really have to look into your happiness, into what you really believe in, and start actually clinching close to that. And if you can, if let's say your parents aren't necessarily providing that support, then that's completely fine. You have friends, you have your brothers, you have your sisters. Maybe they can provide that kind of support that you're looking for in order to get that little extra push to get to your goals. But ideally, you should be able to convince yourself that the ideas you have are actually strong. What I mean by that isn't just convincing yourself through words. Again, it's convincing yourself through actions. When I actually sit down and I'm working hard on the things I'm working on, I don't necessarily need that much support because I already know that I'm already putting so much support by myself under the tasks that I'm looking to get done. Obviously, if I'm being a little lazy, if I'm not necessarily tackling the goals that I'm looking at, I start to doubt myself a little bit. Like, why would I be investing more myself into this when I'm not even putting the work that I'm supposed to do? So all in all, honestly, if I could really summarize this whole video, it's all about making sure that you show your hard work to your parents through actions, but not through words. Convince them like they are investors. Because in the end, they have invested loads of their time and money to you, and you want to make sure that all of that is not in vain. That is it from me, everybody. Take good care of yourselves, and remember to keep your life exciting.